Hi, welcome to Mommas and Manis. I'm your host, Trina. This is a podcast for mamas that are looking for a quick burst of me time. So let's go ahead and get started. As with each episode, we start off with a motivational quote or mantra. This week, we're actually going to do a motivational quote from Maya Angelou, who is a who was a great poet. She passed away a few years ago. Um, Great works of poetry and books that she left with us on this earth. So the quote reads, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Again, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with with compassion, some passion, some humor, and some style. So that is definitely a great quote. And I know I've said this before on the podcast, but as a mama, sometimes we are in survival mode, which is not a good place to be. Because to me, survival mode means you're going from day to day, everything is a blur. You don't know when the day started, when it ended. And that can definitely be the case, especially when you have newborns, like under 3 months old. That can definitely be the case. They're not sleeping, you're not sleeping, especially those first few weeks after they're born. Um, Everything just blurs together. So that's definitely survival mode. And even when your kids get older, if you just have a lot going on, depending on how many kids you have and how many activities they're doing, if it's school time or summer, whatever that may look like for you. But like the quote says, you want to get out of that survival mode and actually get into a thriving mode. That means you're taking care of yourself by starting off with this podcast. You are taking time out for yourself, understanding yourself, your triggers, and understanding what you don't like, and also what you do like to make your day go by smoother or to make the week go by smoother, especially at work, if you're working out of the home or inside the house. Just taking some time for yourself. And of course, like it says, you want to have some passion, some compassion to other people, and some humor. You always need to throw some humor in as a mom, and definitely have some style about it. A style about it. So that means if you are, for me, I like to try the 4 days I'm off, at least three. I like to try to get up and actually do my hair, put on clothes. If we're going out, sometimes I may wear a hat, but sometimes I may do my hair. But 3 out of the 4 days, I do like to do my hair because I have to do my hair every day to go to work. And then just making sure I put on clothes. For me, like last week, I had a shirt I've had for a while. I put it on. I didn't like the way it fit. I was like, I got to get rid of this shirt. And I actually had two shirts like that last week. So I put them to donate, and I'll be dropping them off, probably going through the closet to get rid of some more clothes, but just to feel comfortable. Whatever your style may be, if your style is jean and t-shirts, with tennis shoes, that's your style. If you're a sandals person, if it's summertime, if you're boots, if it's the wintertime, that's your style. So keep your style, you comfortable, and something you like. And I remember, just to go off on a tangent, when I was younger, I would always try to come up with a style by looking at other people or photos or something like that. And I just realized that I actually have a unique style to myself. Um, Instead of trying to look outward for my style, I actually stepped back and took a look inward to figure out what my style was. So now I feel more comfortable. Just like I said last week, if I try on something I don't like, then I'm okay with getting rid of it to replace that with something that actually fits my style. All right. So it is mama time. This week for mama time, I'm actually going to talk about ways to do a mama retreat. Now, I paused after that because I know some people may feel like a mama retreat. Who has time for that? But even if you feel like you don't have time, again, depending on your kid's age, I'm not saying if you have a newborn to go out and do a full blown retreat, that may not be possible because first you got to find somebody to keep your newborn. So that may not be realistic. But, if you have someone at any age of your child or yeah, any age of your child, or even if you're pregnant and you want to do a mama retreat kind of like each trimester, or if you want to do a mama retreat when you're 9 months pregnant before you have the baby, this episode is definitely a great episode to listen to. So, this is my second year doing a mama's retreat. For this past Mother's Day, I actually did a mama's retreat. Last year, I did it because I was just overwhelmed. I was tired. I wasn't getting a break. I was working, I think, 4 days a week. and and then after 3 days, but it was like I was on 7 days a week. I didn't have any time for myself. So at the recommendation of my husband, he was like, why don't you take a few days, book a hotel, a local hotel, and just spend some time to yourself. So that's actually what I did. I'm an introvert, so I do like to have me time on a regular basis. I know some people, if you are an extrovert or you like to socialize more often than others, you may want to tweak the mama's retreat to fit you. So if you're an extrovert, you may want to bring another friend to like the hotel. You guys don't have to share a room. You can always do 2 rooms together or try to get on the same floor if that's possible. But, you'll have that other person to talk to if that's something you absolutely need, if that's part of your self-care, girls' time. So what I did last year, I stayed near the Battery, which is in Atlanta. It's the Atlanta Braves stadium. So I stayed there and I was able to drive around. I walked around the Battery, just enjoyed sunshine. So that was something I really liked. So this year, I said I was going to be more intentional about planning the week I wanted to do it. Last year, I think I actually did it the same time. So I think I'm going to stay with the week after Mother's Day. So, Mother's Day is on Sunday. I took Tuesday through Thursday to myself the week of Mother's Day. This year, I actually stayed in the Cobb Galleria area in Atlanta or in Cobb County, Metro Atlanta. And I enjoyed myself. I picked places that allowed me to walk around in the area. So, number one, a place that I was comfortable with, that I felt safe in. I was walking around during daylight hours, so I could be in the safest neighborhood. I still feel a lot more comfortable walking around during daytime. So I picked a hotel that was comfortable. I usually like to do free breakfast. This hotel did not have free breakfast. They actually had breakfast there, but you had to pay for it, which is fine too, because I'm not going to be cooking or cleaning. So that's perfect. And then also, like I said, I picked a hotel due to the proximity to the mall. So I can walk over to the mall or I can walk around the mall, but it gives me that opportunity to have fresh air, sunlight, and to walk to free my mind or even just walk to just think about stuff. So I did that. And then, so that takes care of where to stay. I would recommend at least a minimum of 2 days. If you can't do 2 days, so even if you're counting 2 days as the day you check in, and then the second day would be the day you check out, that's great because that at least gives you 24 hours to yourself. I did 2 full days. I checked in Tuesday right at check-in and stayed all day Wednesday, and then on Thursday I asked for a late checkout, and I think I left at like 2 or something. So that was 48 hours to myself. And I would recommend, depending on what you like to do, I like to watch Forensic Files. No matter what stage of my life, I've been watching Forensic Files since, I don't think I watched it in college, but once I graduated from college, I have been watching Forensic Files. And I've been watching the same episodes. My husband always says, stop watching the same episodes, but I love watching it. So that's my show. I like watching Forensic Files, HGTV, Food Network, but my true pleasure is Forensic Files, and I'll watch HGTV and Food Network. So if you have a guilty pleasure show, definitely watch that. Because guess what? You don't have any kids to take care of. You don't have any dishes to do, any cleaning up to do. That's just your time. So that's what I did. I also would recommend bringing skincare products and self-care products, whatever you consider self-care products. Here are a list of things that I brought. I bought a facial mask to do. I also bought mani and pedicure items because I did a manicure and a pedicure. And the things that go with that, like nail file, clippers, things like that, nail hardener, brought that as well. Hair items, I actually did my hair. I do my hair on a weekly basis, but this time I actually took time and took a lot more time, probably twice the amount of times, maybe 3 times the amount of time to actually do my hair because I was not in a rush. I didn't have anything to do after I did my hair. So I did that. And then also, if you do your own brows, you can definitely bring that stuff and your favorite body wash. I use Bath and Body Works. I think their Orange Energy. I'm sure that's not the name of it, but from there. Oh, now I can't think of the name of it. Hold on. I have a picture. But from their line of products where it's right on the tip of my tongue. It is called Energy, which is aromatherapy. I use the Orange Ginger Energy, which I like. So it just really nice. Those are some of the items that I did take. If you want to bring a journal and journal about things that you want to do for the rest of the year, or think about stuff that happened in the past that you want to reflect on as far as like throughout the year, but just take some time and really create a mama's retreat. If for some reason you don't have childcare or you're not able to get childcare, you can do a mama's retreat at night. If your kids are old enough where they can kind of go to bed maybe an hour early, or they can go to their room an hour early, you can do that. So that gives you an extra maybe 2 to 3 hours at night to do things for yourself. And then if you wanted to do that 2 nights in a row, you definitely can do that. But I definitely recommend a mama's retreat at least once a year. That way you'll have time where it's just only you. You don't have to worry about anything else. And I think that was it. Yeah, so those are just some ideas. Definitely leave a comment below and let us know what you do for your favorite self-care routine, or if you've ever done a mama's retreat. I actually, like I said, my husband recommended it. I felt guilty the first year, just being honest, because I was like, oh, my husband's gonna have to keep our kids for 2 days. He already does it on the weekend when I go to work. But after I did the retreat in a group I'm in Facebook, another mom actually put that she does it every year and she's been doing it for several years. So it's something that you can do. If you can't think of anything for Mother's Day, ask that. Hey, can I do a mama's retreat? Can I get 2 days in a hotel where I don't have to do anything? And just enjoy yourself and enjoy the time that you've carved out for yourself. You'll love it. You'll think back over it when you get back home. And then the month later, you'll be like, I'm so happy I did that for myself. So definitely comment below. Let us know what you're doing, or if you've ever done a mama's retreat. Hit the like button. And then also share this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, share it on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, share the episode with a friend. Like, comment, I always forget. So like, comment, subscribe so you'll know when we come out with new episodes, and then hit the bell for notifications. And I think that's what notifications are for. I always get those mixed up. But remember, Me time is essential and it's never selfish. Have a great week, mamas. This is this thing talking about